it?
Yeah.
That the memo, it actually doesn't recommend anything. There are 9 different scenarios in it. None of them recommended, and that, you know, it was hard to say what the advice was. Is it one of the 5 that said Biden wins, or one of the 4 that says Trump wins? So it was a scenarios memo, which is what lawyers are expected to do, kind of lay out what are the options we have before us to consider. Because people say, why don't you just move on? And the reason I stayed focused on trying to identify what went on is so that if there are holes in the election system that undermine its credibility, that we fix those holes so we can have confidence again in the election. Because elections are the way we the people exercise our sovereign authority over our government. And if they're not valid, we're no longer citizens, we're subjects.
We'll see. That always remains to be seen. But there's a process that allows us or either party to and just have John give me a call. What are you going to do? Are you going to?
Our efforts were not to overturn the election. My efforts repeatedly were to ensure that fulsome investigations into the illegality that was obvious in the election did not affect the outcome. And I specifically say in the memo on that particular scenario, if we refer it back to the state legislatures and they find that the illegality was not sufficient to have affected the outcome, then they recertify Biden and Biden wins. It was an intense moment. No, I have never supported the violence that went on, but the right of the people to protest peacefully, the right of the people to petition their government for redress of grievances, that's the language from the First Amendment. And for the folks that were doing that, I fully support their right to do it, just as I support the right